Hello dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. Myself Dr. DC Saxena, Professor and Head of the Department of Food Engineering and Technology at Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology, Longowal. I will be presenting you the paper Technology of Spices and Condiments. And in this module, we will be discussing about the introduction of spices and condiments, their brief knowledge, and which will be explained to you by my co-author Ms. Syed Insha Rafiq, who has been well versed with this work.
Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Syed Insha Rafiq, research scholar from Sant Longowal Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today I am going to talk about module 1 of paper number 10, that's Technology of Spices and Condiments. In this module, we will be learning about the introduction of spices. The term spices and condiments applies to such natural plant or vegetable products and mixtures thereof, used in whole or ground form, mainly for imparting flavor, aroma, and pungency to foods and also for seasoning of food beverages and soups. Usually, spices are an ingredient used to season a dish in the meal during its preparation, and condiments are for using at the table to enhance the dish. The great mystery and beauty of spices is their use, blending, and ability to enhance the character of food. According to Food and Drug Administration, spice is any aromatic vegetable substance of a plant part, for example, bark, bud, flower, leaf, fruit, bulb, or seed, in the whole, broken, or ground form, that is used to season food rather than contribute nutrient. Spices serve as one of the major ingredients in food preparation and processing throughout the world. Seasoning is a comprehensive term applied to aromatic ingredients that improve the flavor of food products. They are compounds containing one or more spices, which one added to a food during its manufacture, preparation, or before it's served, enhance the natural flavor of the food and increase its acceptance by consumers. Spices and condiments are parts of plants or vegetable products used in whole or ground form for imparting flavor, aroma, and pungency to foods, and also for seasoning of foods, beverages like soups. The mystery of spices lies in the use, blending, and ability to enhance the character of foods. Spices and condiments play an important role in human life because of specific flavors, taste, and aroma, and on the economy of countries producing, importing, and exporting the spices. India being one of the major spice producing and exporting countries. In addition to this, spices are having active principles that act as powerful tools for promoting physical and emotional wellness. The word Spice is derived from the Latin word species, that means specific kind, and later goods or merchandise. The American Spice Trade Association (AFTA) defines spice as any dried plant product used primarily for seasoning purposes. Spices can be defined as the dry part of a plant, such as roots, leaves, bark, fruits, flowers, and seeds, which are used as food adjuncts to add aroma and flavor to food products, while condiments are also plant parts which are used as food adjuncts to add taste only. The flavor and taste attributes come into the foods due to the presence of essential oils in spices and condiments. These may be used as whole, ground, paste, or liquid form for flavoring and seasoning foods. Spices are essential commodities or ingredients consumed by both classes, that's rich and poor, from time being to enhance the aroma, flavor, and color of dishes. Thus, people have utilized spices and developed strong liking for spicy food preparations down the ages. In addition, these spices have medicinal use, also because of their calmative, stimulating, and digestive properties. However, spices are available at cheaper rate in Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, and Rajasthan, and can be processed very easily. Spices are usually dried and ground so that they can be mixed with other ingredients. These are having calmative properties and hence stimulate digestion. In addition to this, they add flavor and aesthetic aroma and therapeutic treatments to food, drink, and other items. However, dry varieties increase the shelf life of food and are having antibiotic properties and prevent bacterial growth. These also preserve food like meat for a year or more without refrigeration. Some varieties improve texture while some introduce palatable color or odor, however, are of little nutritive value. There are about 35 spices and condiments which can be broadly classified into 6 groups based upon the parts of the plants from which they are obtained. Generally, spices are the primary ingredients used in dishes during their preparation, while condiments are used at the table to enhance the taste of the dish. In other words, spices are the main ingredients used during the preparation of a dish to impart flavor, aroma, and piquancy to the foods, while condiments are the secondary ingredients that are used after the dish is prepared and adds only taste to the dish, for example, ketchup. Spices and condiments are major commercial crops of India, earning a significant part of foreign exchange annually and have been the backbone of agricultural industry. The importance of spices and condiment in dietary, medicinal and other use and their commercial importance are vast. Now moving to spice processing. Spices undergo following processing before consumption: spice cleaning, spice reconditioning, spice grinding, and spice packaging.
Condiments are prepared food compounds. These are mixtures composed of one or more spices or spice extracts, sauce that are added to foods to impart a particular flavor. The addition of condiments to food does not require a cooking process. Spices and condiments have a special significance in various ways in human life because of its specific flavor, taste, and aroma. Spices and condiments play an important role in the national economies of several spice producing, importing, and exporting countries. India is one of the major spice producing and exporting countries. Spices, seasonings, and condiments are mostly used to enhance taste, improve nutritional content, improve color, texture, or shelf life of foods and beverages. Some also perform antioxidant, antimicrobial, nutritional, and medicinal functions and are traditionally credited with a wide range of pharmacological and preservative properties. Plants used as spices and condiments are usually aromatic and pungent. Spices and condiments are edible products of the plants, which are used more for their aromatic flavor than for their food value. The knowledge and use of plants as spices and condiments is as old as the history of mankind. Plants used as spices and condiments are usually aromatic and pungent. It had reported that these plants owe these properties to the presence of varying types of essential oils. They are also used in perfumery, cosmetics, and several other industries. They stimulate the appetite and increase the secretion and flow of gastric juices. For this reason, they are commonly known as food adjuncts. Turmeric is a rhizomatous
perennial herb plant of the ginger family and one of the key ingredients for many Indian, Persian, and Thai dishes, such as in curry and many more. Turmeric, called haldi in common language, and Curcuma longa scientifically belong to Gingiberaceae family. It is native to South Asia, probably West India, cultivated in India. Useful part of turmeric is rhizomes, always used in dried powder form. And culinary use of turmeric include as flavor and orange yellow food color, essential in curry powder, used in meat, vegetable and lentil dishes. It's a substitute for saffron in rice, curries and desserts. Cardamom, called as elaichi, is one of the world's most expensive spices. Chili and chili powders. There are at least 20 known varieties of chili powders. Cinnamon, called as dalchini, is the most Indian food is cooked with cassia bark, which is a good substitute for real cinnamon. Clove, known as bung, cloves are the dried flower buds of an evergreen plant. Fennel, moti saunf seeds. Fennel seeds are a common ingredient for flavoring stocks, sauces, and curries. Mustard seeds, known as raj, are tiny, dark, round seeds used for tempering in dals and pickles. Saffron, known as kesar, is the world's most expensive spice. Saffron must be soaked in either warm milk or water and used at the end of cooking a dish. Tamarind, known as imli, is the bitter-sweet, highly acidic pulp of the tamarind and is used to flavor foods and is a good source of iron, potassium and magnesium. Turmeric, known as haldi, is a rhizome of the ginger family. Cardamom refers to several plants of the similar genera Eleutheria and Amomum in the ginger family. Cardamom is native to India. Cardamom was used as a medicine as well as a food. It became common in Europe in the 17th century when it was brought by sea from India. Cardamom is used as flavorings in both food and drink. Cardamom, known as elaichi in common language, and Eleutheria cardamomum belonging to family Zingiberaceae, a large rhizomatous perennial crop and called as queen of spices, second most expensive spice after saffron. It's native to southwest India, cultivated in India, Sri Lanka and Guatemala. Useful parts are pods and seeds that are either dried, whole or ground for use. Essential oil present include cineole, limonene. Pods are harvested by hand. Culinary use include important ingredient in garam masala, flavor to curries, Mughlai dishes, North India, pulses, rice dishes, pickles, desserts and tea, chai. Chillies are native to South and Central America and they have been cultivated for thousands of years. However, in the 16th century, They were introduced into South Asia and Southern Europe by the Spanish and Portuguese. Chili powder became very popular in Britain in the 19th century. Chili pepper, commonly called as mirchi in Hindi, called as capsicum annuum, belonged to family Solanaceae and is grown as an annual crop that is native to South America and was introduced to India by the Portuguese in 1510 AD. Cultivated worldwide, mainly in Mexico, India, Pakistan, and China. Useful parts are fruit, the main chemical constituent being capsaicin, which is the source of pungency, hotness, is concentrated in the membranes attached to the seeds. Culinary use include ingredient in curry powder, flavor, pungency to curries, vegetables, meat, fish, snacks, pickles, and chutneys. Cinnamon is a spice obtained from inner bark of several trees from the genus Cinnamomum that's used in both sweet and savory foods. Cinnamon bark is widely used as a spice. It is principally employed in cookery as a condiment and flavoring material. Cinnamon is native to Sri Lanka. Like many spices, cinnamon was used as a medicine as well as a food. It was used to treat many complaints, including colds and flu. Cinnamon, called as dalchini in Hindi, known as Cinnamomum zeylanicum, belonging to family Doraceae, and is a subcanopy small tropical evergreen tree. Origin is southwest India, Sri Lanka. Useful part is dried inner bark, strips rolled into quills or sticks or in powder form. Cloves. Cloves are the aromatic dried flower buds of a tree in the family Myrtaceae. Cloves are native to the Maluku Islands in Indonesia and used as a spice in cuisines all over the world. Cloves are harvested primarily in Indonesia, India, Madagascar, Zanzibar, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. They have a numbing effect on mouth tissues. Cloves are native to Indonesia, but they were known to the Romans and to the ancient Chinese. Cloves were also used as a medicine. Cloves are now grown in East Africa and in Brazil. Clove, known as long in Hindi and called as Eugenia caryophyllata, synonym Zingium aromaticum, belong to family Myrtaceae, is a small tropical evergreen tree native to the Moluccas Spice Island, cultivated in Africa, India, and Sri Lanka. Useful part is fragrant, unopened flower buds, sun-dried whole or ground. Volatile oil is eugenol, and culinary use include as ingredient in garam masala, flavored to curries, meat and rice dishes, and tea, commonly known as chai. Coriander. Coriander, also called cilantro or dhania, is an annual herb in the family Apiaceae. Coriander is native to southern Europe and North Africa to southern Western Asia. All parts of the plant are edible, but the fresh leaves and the dried seeds are the parts most commonly used in cooking. Coriander is common in South Asian, Middle Eastern, Central Asian, Mediterranean, and Indian dishes. Coriander was grown by the Greeks and Romans. It was also popular in medieval Europe. For centuries, coriander was used as a medicine and it was believed to be an aphrodisiac. Coriander, known as dhania in Hindi and called as Coriandrum sativum, belonging to family Apiaceae, is an annual crop and native to South Europe, North Africa to southwestern Asia. Cultivated in Russia, India, South America and North Africa. Useful part is dried seed, that is coriander, technically a fruit, whole or ground form, pinnate to 3 pinnate leaves, cilantro, use fresh. Culinary use include as ingredient in curry powder and garam masala, flavored to curries, meat, fish, vegetables, salads, pickles, chutneys, and as garnishing agent. Cumin. Cumin is a flowering plant in the family Apiaceae, native from the East Mediterranean to India. Its seeds are used in the cuisines of many different cultures, in both whole and ground form. Cumin seeds are used as a spice for their distinctive flavor and aroma. It is globally popular and an essential flavoring in many cuisines. Cumin is native to the Mediterranean region and it was well known in ancient Egypt as well as in Greece and Rome. Cumin was also a common spice in the Middle Ages in Europe. It was also used as a medicine. Cumin, Cuminum saminum, belonging to family Apiaceae, is an annual only 6 feet high, known as zira in Hindi, native to the Mediterranean, North Africa and southwestern Asia, cultivated in India, Turkey, North Africa and China. Useful part is seed, that is 6-sided aromatic seed with parallel sides 5 mm long. Culinary uses include as an ingredient in curry powder, garam masala and 5-spice mix Bengali. Use as flavor in curries, vegetables, fish, meat, lentils, rice, snacks and pickles. Garlic. Garlic is a native to Central Asia. It was known in ancient Egypt and also in India and China. Garlic was also grown by the Greeks and Romans. For centuries, garlic was used as a medicine as it's strong antiseptic. Garlic was also believed to be an aphrodisiac. It originates in Yunnan province in southern China. Garlic, called as Allium sativum, belonging to family Liliaceae, is a bulbous perennial, zone 4 to 9 and called as Lasan in Hindi. It's native to India and Central Asia. Cultivated widely, does not produce fertile seeds and is grown as an annual form, its cloves. Useful part or bulb 4 to 20 bulbets in a single clove. Pungent aroma is caused by cellular disruption due to sulfur-containing allicin. Culinary use include in almost all Indian foods except desserts. Ginger. Ginger or ginger root is a rhizome of the plant Zingiber officinale, consumed as a delicacy, medicine, or spice. It lends its name to its genus and family Zingiberaceae. Young ginger rhizomes are juicy and fleshy with a very mild taste. Ginger is native to Southeast Asia. It was known in ancient China and India, and from the Middle Ages was used in Europe. However, for centuries, ginger was used as a medicine for more than for flavoring food. Ginger, known as Zingiber officinale, belonging to family Zingiberaceae, is a rhizomatous deciduous perennial zone 9 to 11 and is called as adrak in Hindi. It's native to tropical India and Indonesia and is exported from India and Jamaica. Useful part is thick branching rhizome that's used fresh, whole or dried powder form. Volatile oils or gingerols, shogols. Culinary use include use in curries, vegetables, meat, fish, marinades, chutneys, pickles, and tea. Mint. It's a popular herb in Europe in the Middle Ages. Like many herbs, mint was used as a medicine as well as a food. It was well known to the ancient Greeks and Romans. Mints, called as Mintha specata, belonging to family Lamiaceae, are herbaceous perennials known as pudina in Hindi and native to the Mediterranean, cultivated worldwide. Most mints are sterile, propagate by division. Useful parts are aromatic leaves. Culinary uses include as flavor in salads, vegetables, raita, chutney, iced drinks, tea, and as a garnishing agent. Black pepper. Black pepper, known as Piper nigrum, belonging to the family Piperaceae. It's often referred to as the king of spices. Black pepper is one of the oldest and the most widely used spices in the world. It's cultivated for this fruit, which is usually dried and used as a spice and seasoning. Black pepper is a tropical, dioecious, woody, stemmed vine with a zone of 9 to 11 and is called as Kali Mirch in Hindi. It's king of spices, native to south and eastern India. Useful parts are berries, 1 by 4 inch, black peppercorns from dried unripe berries. Use whole or in ground form. Volatile oils are piperidine alkaloids. Culinary use include ingredient in garam masala and curry powder, flavor and pungency to most savory dishes, meat, fish, vegetables, marinades, chutneys, and pickles. Fenugreek. The plant is an aromatic herbaceous annual widely cultivated in Mediterranean countries and Asia. Fenugreek, known as Trigonella phonem grassum, belonging to family Fabaceae, is an annual plant that is called methi in Hindi and is native to South Europe and Asia. India is the largest producer widely naturalized of fenugreek.
Useful part of the plant is quadrangular yellow or pale brown seeds from ripe bean-like curved pod. Culinary use or ingredient in curry powder and five-spice blend. Its use as flavor to South and Eastern Indian curries, fish, lentils, meats, vegetables, bread, chutneys, and pickles. Mustard. It was well known in the ancient Middle East and it is mentioned in the Bible. The Romans also grew mustard and they introduced it into the parts of Europe they conquered. Mustard seeds called as Brassica juncea belonging to family Brassicaceae, also called brown or Indian mustard, is a cool season annual and known as rai in Hindi. It's native to South and Eastern Asia and the Middle East. Useful parts include dark brown seed 1 to 3 mm in size, in whole or ground form. Culinary use or ingredient in curry powder and five-spice mix. Adds flavor and pungent hotness to South and Eastern Indian Bengali curries, meats, lentils, fish, pickles, and rice. Nutmeg. Nutmeg and mace have similar sensory qualities, with nutmeg having a slightly sweeter and mace a more delicate flavor. Mace is often preferred in light dishes for the bright orange, saffron-like hue it imparts. Nutmeg is used for flavoring many dishes, usually in ground or grated form, and is best grated fresh in a nutmeg grater. Nutmeg comes from Indonesia. It's having many medicinal use. Nutmeg, known as Myristica fragrans belonging to family Myristicaceae, is a large tropical evergreen tree known as jaifal in Hindi and is cultivated in the Molluscous Asia, Sri Lanka and Grenada. Useful parts are seeds covered by hard brown shell, in turn covered by a red aril mace. Culinary uses are ingredient in garam masala, flavor to desserts, curries, lamb, vegetables and rice. For pulao and biryani. Saffron. Saffron, known as Crocus sativus, belonging to family Iridaceae, is a fall-blooming cormeous perennial zone with a size of 6 to 8 and known as kesar in Hindi. Its origin is Mediterranean and cultivated in Kashmir and Spain. Grows most of world saffron. Useful parts are 3-part stigma that is dried. It's harvested by hand and is the most expensive spice. 75,000 flowers or 225,000 stigmas are equal to 1 lb saffron. Culinary use include orange, red color or flavor to Mughlai dishes, rice that includes pulao and biryani, stews, meat, fish and desserts. Tamarind. The tamarind is a widely distributed tree spice which is also grown as a shade tree on highways. The tamarind fruit was at first thought to be produced by an Indian palm, as the name tamarind comes from a Persian word tamarind, meaning date of India. Tamarind, known as Tamarindus indica belonging to family Fabaceae, is a large tropical evergreen tree with a zone of 9 and called as imli in Hindi. Native to Africa, cultivated in India for centuries, now grown widely all over tropics. Useful part is fruit, that is ripe pods with sticky brown acidulous pulp, sold compressed in lump or block form. Culinary use or sweet sour agent in South Indian curries, sambar, rasam, vindaloo, pulses, meat, fish, marinades, chutney and sauce. Onion. Onion, known as Allium cepa, belonging to family Liliaceae, is a bulbous biennial zone of 4 to 9 and is called as piyaz in Hindi. It's grown as an annual from sets native to Asia, cultivated widely. Useful part or bulb, less pungent than garlic, has a tear-evoking property, that is thiopropanol. Culinary use include fundamental to Indian cuisine for flavor to almost all foods except desserts. Use fresh as a base to add spices in curries, vegetables, meat, fish and rice. Soya sauce. Soya sauce is a condiment produced by fermenting soybeans with Aspergillus oryza mold, along with water and salt. Soya sauce is a traditional ingredient in East and Southeast Asian cuisines, where it is used in cooking and as a condiment. In more recent times, it is also used in Western cuisine and prepared foods. Vanilla. Vanilla, a wine known since the time of the Aztecs, is a genus of about 110 species in the orchid family. Vanilla perennifolia yields the popular commercial flavoring agent vanillin. Vanilla is the world's third most expensive spice next to saffron and cardamom. Vemil is the only genus among orchids whose members produce a spice. The name originates from the Spanish word vanilla and diminutive form of vana, meaning sheath, which is in turn derived from Latin vagina. It belongs to the family Orchidaceae, subfamily Epinderosae, tribe Vanilliae, and subtribe Vanillinae. Regional diversity. The diversity of Indian cuisine is a result of the diversity of its population, topography, and historical influence. India extends from the Himalayas to the Indian Ocean. In between is the Great Thar Desert, northwestern India, Gangetic Plain, north to eastern India, rainforest of the southwestern Ghats, peninsular Deccan Plateau, central and south India, and the coastal plains. The Himalayan valley, that is Jammu and Kashmir, has a Hindu and Muslim cuisine rich in nuts, fruits, vegetables, and meat. The desert region is typical for dry grain-based food and use of chickpea or millet flours. The Gangetic Plain is rich in rice, dairy, fish, coconut, spiced with mustard seed in the east. Punjab, 65% Sikh cuisine is noted for dairy, grain, pulses, tandoori style and naan. The coastal plains are rich in rice, fish, seafood, coconut, hot spicy vegetarian and non-vegetarian curries are typical of the south. All major religions are represented in India. The population is 80.5% Hindu, 13.4% Muslim, 2.3% Christian, 1.9% Sikh, 0.8% Buddhist, 0.4% Jain, and 0.7% miscellaneous, including Zoroastrian and Jews. Hindus, Buddhists, and Jains tend to be vegetarian, the others non-vegetarian. Hence, Indian cuisine includes a variety of vegetarian and non-vegetarian foods. Muslims do not eat pork, Hindus and Sikhs do not eat beef, as they revere the cow. Historical influence. Around 850 AD, Zoroastrians escaped from Persia to Gujarat and Bombay. Their cuisine is a mixture of Gujarati and Persian styles, typified by dansak, Farsi lentil curry. The Portuguese colonized Goa and converted it into a Christian colony in 1510 to 1961. They introduced chili pepper and vinegar, typical of spicy hot curries such as pork vindaloo. North India was ruled by Mughal emperors in 1526 to 1857 AD. The vegetarian and Mughlai dishes are noted for tandoori style and use of fruit, grains, dairy, and nuts, as in kormas, naan, and biryanis, that is rice and meat flavored with saffron. Lastly, British colonial rule in India in 1858 to 1947 gave rise to an Anglo-Indian cuisine classic for Maligeta soup and sweet mango chutney.
So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. We have learned about the introduction of spices and condiments as important components of food because they significantly change the taste, appearance, and effect of the food even though they are used in small quantities. Many spices promote digestion but most have little effect on acid-base balance. Spices are the very heart and soul of Indian cuisine. They form the foundation of a cuisine that has existed for centuries. It's virtually impossible to cook Indian dishes without spices, even if they are only red chilies and salt. Some of these spices and condiments that were discussed here include bay leaf, that is called as tej patta, and is an aromatic herb used for flavoring vegetables and meat. Second is black pepper, called as kali mirch, and is a pungent aromatic condiment.
So, now you have been knowing what are the spices, what are the condiments, and brief knowledge about this subject, which has very well explained to you by my co-author Ms. Syed Insha Rafiq. And in continuation of this, the history of spices and condiments will be explained to you further. Thank you.